What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Own the Hunt. I'm here with Brandon, and we're going to tell you today about the Night Stalker Plus by ICOtec. Stick with us. Alright guys, well like I said, we are here today to talk to you about the new ICOtec Night Stalker Plus game call that just came out. This is a pretty awesome call. My favorite call before this was the Night Stalker, and Brandon, you were using the ICOtec Outlaw. Both very, very similar calls. Really the only difference is the color, and the Outlaw has a decoy when you buy it. You can add a decoy to the Night Stalker units as well. So functionally, they're almost identical. So ICOtec took that call, which was already an amazing call in my opinion. The volume was great. The remote was awesome, which was the biggest reason I switched to it. And they said, you know what? We're going to take this call and we're going to make it even better. So, Brandon, tell us about some of the new differences, some of the new stuff that they just put out with this Night Stalker Plus. So, all their new calls, they're putting plus at the end of the name. And that kind of signifies some of these new changes. Not all of them are going to have what the Night Stalker Plus has here. But as far as this one goes, what are some of the new changes that people can expect?
So the biggest new change is the Bluetooth capability. So you can run this thing with your phone now. If say you're in the field and you lose your remote or you forget it or whatever, you can swap this thing over.
Or you just don't like the remote.
You can swap this button and bam, you're running off of.
Very cool. So app support. They've got an app called Animal Audio. You can download that from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. And with that app, you can not only run the call, but you can add sounds, yes. That's big in my opinion. So no longer do you have to plug this thing into your computer and put sounds on it. You still can do that. And they have an SD card slot right in the back of the call right here. So no worries there. You can still do that if that's something that you're accustomed to and you've already done, and you're just looking to upgrade to the Night Stalker Plus. They've got you all set there. That SD card comes with a 32 gigabyte SD card, and it's preloaded with a bunch of their sounds, and it works awesome. Now, one of the features that I am most excited about is the organization structure. Yeah. So with the organization, So one of the things I really didn't like was that on the old remote, which this is the new one, we'll tell you about some of the functional differences, but one of my favorite new upgrades is the fact that it's got organization. Categorization, yes. You can put folders in there, and your folders can literally say coyote sounds, rabbit sounds, rodents, whatever it may be. Yep. And I love that.
You can have fight sounds, you can have distress sounds, you can have whatever you want it to be.
And that is a big deal. So
it makes it convenient, makes it easier,
Yes. So what is my other favorite feature on this new remote? Scrolling sounds, scrolling titles. Thank you, ICOtec. You guys did it. Something that has irked me on the previous model is that you go to a sound and it says female coyote, and you don't know what, right? So now they have scrolling sound files, titles on the remote. You hover over a sound and it's going to scroll for you and give you the complete name of that sound. Thank you very much, ICOtec. A much needed feature, a much needed upgrade, and we now have that in the Plus models. So thank you. This thing runs off of AA batteries, but I'm going to let Brandon tell you.
The C4 battery pack?
Yeah, the C4, yeah. Get yourself a C4 battery pack from ICOtec. Thing's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. It
just runs and runs and runs and runs, and you.
Yeah.
Like, do I need to try this thing? Well, probably not, but yeah, no, they're a must.
Yeah.
And they're worth it.
They're a little spendy, but if you think about it, so are AA batteries, and you're gonna run through a boatload of AA batteries trying to run this call, night after night or multiple nights a week with AA batteries. And I also don't think they hold up to the cold as well as that C4 battery.
Correct.
So
here in Maine, you definitely, or any cold climate, I would highly recommend.
Yeah.
They also make the double A's.
They do. But I would say if you're considering one over the other, get yourself a C4 for your call, because the remote will run quite a long time off of a set of AA batteries.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, I don't think I've I don't think I've replaced the AA's in my battery at all this season.
Honestly, I think they designed those other batteries for the smaller calls because they do run off AA's
Sure.
and they don't take the battery packs.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, guys. And so, what is the next new feature that ICOtec brought to these calls, Brandon?
So they changed it from MP3 to WAV files, so they're able to play in not only 16-bit, but 24-bit and 32-bit.
Yeah, so clarity is what we're talking about there. So the higher bit rating on your audio file, or bit rate on your audio file, the cleaner it is, the clearer it is. And so these speakers are actually capable of putting out a cleaner sound now. And
to my ears, it sounded clearer the other night on that high-pitched stuff.
Yep.
It was just
Yeah,
as
when you
loud
played
as
some howls on there pretty loud, it sounded really well. We haven't used this call a lot. I will say that they just came out. We're just kind of trying to get you guys some basic stuff of what to expect with them. But we have used it, and in our early stages of use, I mean, I'm impressed. It sounds really good. What impresses me the most is this: the changes they've made here with the categorization and the scrolling sound files. That does it for me. That right there, for me, is worth buying.
So
the upgrade.
I've been getting some messages about this new call and not being able to use the free sounds anymore on the ICOtec website. They are in 16-bit MP3 and they will not work there. But I think what ICOtec has done here is they've given you a lot more technology, a lot more features with the remote, and they're still keeping the cost low. So now you're able to go onto the Animal Audio app. Say you have a sound you really liked before, but you might have to pay for it now. Well, you're not paying $700 for this call. This call is only $399.
Yeah,
$399. So
for a call with the features this has, and in fact, in my opinion, for a call without a lot of the features this have, you're looking $600 plus from the competitors.
Correct.
So yeah, I mean, if you got to buy a few sound files so that they'll work on the new call, so be it.
There are sounds. There are free sounds on the Animal Audio app, but you're gonna be paying.
Yeah,
a little
and
bit.
let's face it, this thing comes with a boatload of sounds.
It does.
I mean, it's not like you're getting a call with not very many sounds.
I can't remember. Is it 12 or 15 Tony Tebby
I want to
sounds?
say the box says it. I didn't want to look at the box, guys.
3 hours later.
So this call includes 15 Tony Tebby sounds. So Tony Tebby, if you guys aren't familiar with him, he makes some phenomenal, coyote vocals and distress, and his stuff is good. I mean, we've called in a numerous amount of coyotes on Tony Tebby sounds. So this thing has a crazy amount of range as far as the remote to the speaker. 300 yards.
No line of sight.
Yeah,
So.
that's nuts. I know me, I'm not walking 300 yards to put this thing out.
And I want to say that the phone will do 50, no line of sight, and if you put it up on a tripod, ICOtec offers their tripods on the website. I want to say they get 100 yards as long as
It's pretty solid. That's
off
off of Bluetooth technology. So, pretty awesome. That's about it, really, on this call. I mean, I don't want to go into a bunch of boring stuff, but it's awesome.
They're working hard to make it easier for people to change the files over from if you have sounds that you like that you purchased maybe through Boss. Boss is working hard on finding a way to do it efficiently, effectively, and as easy as possible.
Yeah, James Bostic, he's also another sound creator like Tony, and yeah, like you said, he's working hard to bring those sounds up to the new technology that these are using. So anyway, just awesome innovation.
Yep, excited to get
what
out
I
there.
love is ICOtec didn't, they didn't change a bunch of things that weren't broken, right? Like they took the call, which was awesome, and the remote, which was awesome, and they made it better.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I will note is if you had a Night Stalker or an Outlaw before, or Saber, the Saber's remote was slightly different than the Outlawer and the Night Stalker, but they did replace some of these buttons or move them around on the remote. The first night we went out with this thing, I kept hearing Brandon, because the buttons do click. I kept hearing a ton of clicks over there, and I'm like, what is he doing? Well, the reality is the remote is different, so the buttons aren't where you expect them to be. So if you're coming from a Night Stalker or an Outlaw, expect a little bit of a learning curve. Yeah. The buttons are slightly different as far as their layout goes, but I mean, geez, I'm impressed. ICOtec knocked it out of the park with this one. Just a great job, really. Price, like you said, $399. And I know that they're launching their Outlaw Plus, which might actually be out when I post this video. and they also have a new call, which is a Renegade. Yep. The Renegade is a very similar speaker to this, actually the same speaker, but the remote is quite substantially different. It doesn't have an LCD screen. It's got like a grid pattern of buttons, and those are your sound files you can swap over. I'm not going to cover that in this video. I might do another review at a later date, but essentially it's the same call, so you get the awesome, you know, sound performance, things like that. You get the Bluetooth, all of that, just a much lesser quality remote. Not quality, because it's a nice quality remote. It's just, it's less features. It's less feature rich remote than this Night Stalker Plus or the Outlaw. So if you're interested in picking up one of these ICOtec calls, either check out ICOtec.com or FallRiverShooters.com. Logan, our dealer for thermal optics, is a dealer for ICOtec as well. So if you have any questions, hit us up. We'll be more than happy to point you in the right direction and get you all set up. So, all right, guys. Well, that's pretty much going to do it. Brendan and I are going to go out tonight and try to put some fur down on the ground with this call. And I got to imagine we're going to make it happen. So
we got our good luck charm tonight, though.
Yeah.
Taylor's coming with us. So
we've got Taylor coming tonight with us, Brandon's daughter. And we've put coyotes down with her. So maybe she's lucky. Maybe she's not. We'll find out tonight. Anyway, guys, until next time on the Hunt, we'll see you later.